Morning, everybody. Just sitting here in my truck, working through my day, and had a thought on depression and kind of circular thinking around depression and what kind of gets us there, and from a Christian viewpoint, what is able to deliver you from those thought processes. So I'm a guy that is very prone to depression. Always have been, even from a young age. And I even remember, upsetting myself so much one time when I was 7 years old that I threw up, just because I had to stay somewhere that I just didn't want to stay that night. So I'm very prone to depression. And the thought process of depression comes from you not being able to find yourself in certain environments, discomfort with yourself, worthlessness, hopelessness, and all of the feelings that accompany that. And that comes from, trauma from when you were younger, people contributing to just disrespectful situations that they placed you in, grudges, and deeply embedded feelings that we never really take time to sort through. And then, once we finally sort through them, sometimes we find ourselves in just, your inner city is just ravaged. And I've found myself in that situation as well, where the people around me have been affected for so long that, you can't just snap out of it and say, oh, everything's fine, I'm fine now. Because now you have other extra damage that you've caused other people within that process. So, there was one night where, I had fallen away from the faith, and I was dabbling in all sorts of, knowledge and different places, and I decided, enough was enough. I'd had enough of everything. I hated myself. I hated how I felt. I hated what I had become, what I had, led other people to become. And there was just a full despair about me. And I went back to, what I'd grown up in, my Christian faith. And I was like, tonight, I can't handle it anymore. I've got to do something about it. And I started praying, and I prayed so hard from my soul. I was crying, just begging God to take away this damage that I had done to myself. And it was kind of like praying and looking at yourself in the mirror at the same time. And as I was in mid-prayer and I was begging God to take this feeling away, this spirit that I was in away, that I just felt a lift. And I can't describe it, and I can't say that I saw anything, but it was like this blackness just going all the way up to the ceiling. And I felt it just leaving. And the only thing that I could do is to continue to cry, because it was almost like I was being cleaned of anything that was inside me that I didn't understand or that I was struggling with. And so I just see like this blackness going up towards the ceiling. And I was crying, but I continued my prayer. And when I finished my prayer, I felt like I had been just gutted of anything bad that was within me. And from that point, I knew what I was praying to was absolutely real. It was real, and I experienced it for the first time. My heart was in the right spot to experience it. And, from a Christian standpoint, when we get depressed, we got to think back to when we were baptized. What did we get baptized for? We declared that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and that he came to the earth. We professed our faith in the death, burial, and resurrection of him. And then we got baptized to be cleaned, to get forgiveness. But it even says in the Lord's Prayer, forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And in Matthew 5:14, it says, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. And he goes on to give the lamp with a basket example as to, when you put a basket on top of a lamp, it doesn't light anything. But when you take the basket off, it lights up the house. And we get caught up in this circular thinking and depressive, self-sabotaging circles, and we can't get delivered from it because we don't forgive. We have a hard time forgiving. We hold grudges, grudges against ourselves, grudges against people who disrespected us, or who, put us in situations that made us feel worthless, who abused us, or, anything of that sort. And when we think about that, what it goes back to is Christ. In all of our dirtiness, we professed our faith in him, and we got baptized, and we got cleansed. Our mighty God can forgive us, but we have to forgive ourselves. And not only that, we have to forgive the other people that have caused us harm. And that is what provides true deliverance from this circular thinking. When we can finally do that and let go of the darkness inside of us, the light can shine through. So I don't know if any of you guys needed to hear that. I know that sometimes I wonder, how long I would have went before something bad truly happened. But I'm thankful that it didn't, and I'm thankful that, I've studied and done enough research to be able to bring myself out of this circular thinking and finally start rebuilding my inner temple again. And I hope that this message reaches somebody that needed this as much as I needed it. God bless. You guys have a great rest of your day.